I'm clear jerky. The video quality could come up with, but this is my attempt at being live on YouTube once again. I had abandoned the up to in the last week on YouTube. Titles of the videos, and then we'll talk a little bit about each video. And again, I apologize if the connection is not stable and if you are not able to follow what I'm saying, if there are lags, if the frames are freezing up. It's something that's beyond my control. So we will keep trying to do that, and I hope it's working, but I really don't know. So video number 206 talked about skullduggery, which is part of my word of the day series, and video number 207 I talked about two fossae, infratemporal fossa and pterygopalatine fossa. In video number 208 I talked about my stay in a great hotel and my stay in a grand hotel. 209 I talked about Hobson's choice. 210 I talked about 3 voice rehabilitation techniques following total laryngectomy. 211 talked about the different government medical colleges teaching MBBS in West Bengal as of 2024. 212 was a success story where I congratulated Dr. Prisa Ghosh on successfully passing occupational English test. 213 talked about all the MBBS seats available every year as of 2024 in the state of West Bengal, including government and private colleges. 214 was the life of a junior doctor when he becomes a senior doctor, and is it possible to become a junior doctor after being a senior doctor, and why many senior doctors willingly choose to become junior doctors despite having worked as senior doctors. Video number 215 I talked about the National Action Plan for Prevention and Control of Snake Bite Envenoming, NAPSE, and 216, that is the video I uploaded today, talked about brachial plexus from the point of view of MRCS Part A. So let's talk about each video briefly, starting with skullduggery. So while I was reading some books, especially Dostoevsky, I encountered some words that are very difficult to understand. So I decided to start a new series called Word of the Day. And honestly, I really like the word skullduggery, although it paints a very macabre picture. It has nothing to do with digging out skulls. Basically, it comes from the Scottish dialect skullduggery and talks about a deceitful act with malicious intent. Basically, when you are misleading somebody deliberately and engaging in largely dishonest means. So skullduggery, I like making that video on skullduggery. Next, after skullduggery, I talked about infratemporal fossa and pterygopalatine fossa. These are two fossae which are frequently asked in ENT university exams. So I thought of combining the two because they are so close to each other. Pterygopalatine fossa basically connects the pterygopalatine fossa is basically a fossa between the nasal cavity and the infratemporal fossa. Infratemporal fossa joins the pterygopalatine fossa through the pterygomaxillary fissure, and pterygopalatine fossa enters the nasal cavity through the sphenopalatine foramen. So I talked about the different foramen, the different foramina, the different boundaries, the contents of each of these fossae, and I hope you would like the video. Please check it out. After talking about infratemporal fossa and pterygopalatine fossa, I made a video comparing my short stay in a great hotel and compared it with a grand hotel, and why I found the stay in a great hotel better than my stay in a grand hotel. So it's a short video. Please, you like watching it. It's short and sweet. After the video on hotel, I made a video on Hobson's choice, which basically is a situation where you don't really have a choice. You're basically only given one realistic choice, and with the illusion that you do have a choice. Like when you go to a shop and you want something, or you get into a negotiation, somebody says take it or leave it, but you know in your heart that you have to take it. You can't afford to leave it. So he talked about some guy named Hobson in England who ensured that the person who wanted to take his horses on rent would only get to take the horse that he wanted to give out on rent. So that's Hobson's choice, and I liked explaining that. After Hobson's choice, I talked about the different voice rehabilitation techniques commonly available following total laryngectomy. As you know, larynx is the voice box, so people who undergo total laryngectomy, mostly due to cancer of the larynx, are deprived of their voice. Now, to rehabilitate them, sometimes we teach them to use their esophagus for speaking. This is called esophageal speech. It is not a very good quality voice, but it does not require any fresh surgery. It does require training. Then there is electrolarynx, which is a device which you can hold against the neck, and a very robotic voice is produced, but this does not require any training or any surgery. It's just hold the device and the person tries to speak, and the vibrations are of a robotic nature. And then the third option is the tracheoesophageal speech, which requires both surgery and the introduction of a prosthesis like Blomsinger prosthesis or Provox, and a little bit of training as well. The 26 different government medical colleges. Again, the network, I'm getting a message that the transmission is unstable. So let's just crack on. There are 26 different government medical colleges in West Bengal, and cumulatively there are 3,825 MBBS seats only in the state of West Bengal. So I talked about that, and I talked about the location of these colleges as well. They are located almost in every district of West Bengal. The state of West Bengal has, I think, 23 districts, and there are 26 government medical colleges, which is a remarkable feat. I have to admit that. It does also include the two central government medical colleges, AIIMS Kollani, and I believe ESI Joka is also under the central government. After this, the next video, I think it was video number 212, I congratulated Dr. Pritha Ghosh on successfully passing occupational English test. It is one thing to share my own experience of passing occupational English test, and it was completely happy. I felt really happy to share the experience of Dr. Pritha Ghosh also to help her prepare, and to see that my efforts were vindicated when I received the good news that she has passed. I was really happy, so I wanted to share that with my viewers on YouTube. Next up, I also talked about the total number of MBBS seats available every year in the state of West Bengal 2024, as of 2024, and it includes both government colleges as well as private colleges. Taken together, there are 5,325 MBBS seats available in the state of West Bengal every year. And as you know, to get an MBBS seat, you have to go through the NEET UG exam. I believe 15% of the seats are reserved for people who are from outside West Bengal, and 85% are for people from West Bengal. Regardless, there are 3,825 seats in government medical colleges and 1,500 seats in private medical colleges for MBBS in West Bengal. Next up, I talked about who is a junior doctor. Till what time in a doctor's career is he or she referred to as a junior doctor? When does one become a senior doctor? And when does a senior doctor willingly choose to become a junior doctor again? So I did address the fact that there is no well-defined definition of the term junior doctor, but what we largely believe is anyone who is in clinical training is a junior doctor. So there are many occasions when a senior doctor wants to pursue further training, and he or she willingly chooses to become a junior doctor after having worked for multiple years as a senior doctor. Next up, I talked about the National Action Plan for Prevention and Control of Snake Bite Envenoming. And we had read about polyvalent anti-snake venom, but it had always occurred to me that it includes only 4 species of snakes. And it was always a concern for me that a very venomous species, highly venomous species like king cobra, Ophiophagus hanna, is not part of the polyvalent anti-snake venom. So I did read up on this. In some countries, tiger snake antivenom is used for treatment of king cobra bites. I believe king cobra bites are not very common because king cobras tend to avoid human contact. But since they are very venomous, and from all that I know, king cobra bites can kill even fully grown adult elephants, I do hope that there is some form of treatment available, even if it is highly unlikely to save someone if they have suffered a bite from a king cobra. But I would really feel happy if treatment against king cobra bites were made available in India. Next up, I talked about, I think the last video that I uploaded, most recent video, I think I uploaded it today, talked about brachial plexus. This is one of the most confusing and difficult to remember topics in anatomy. I tried to oversimplify it, and I tried to use the example of a tree that drinks cold beer. So tree has roots and trunks. Brachial plexus also has roots and trunks. Roots, trunks, drinks cold beer. Roots, trunks, divisions, cords, and branches. And I talked about how the roots coalesce to form trunks. Trunks give out divisions. Divisions form cords, and cords give out branches. I think you really like watching the brachial plexus video. And thank you for joining me on this YouTube live. And I'll see you soon next week. Take care. Bye bye.